This is the pre-race drivers' press conference ahead of the 2025 Marvel Fantastic Four London E-Prix rounds 15 and 16 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here at Excel Centre in London. Not a Fantastic Four in front, but a Fantastic Three. Oliver Rowland from Nissan Formula E team, our brand new world champion. Taylor Barnard from Neil McLaren Formula E team. And of course, Dan Ticktum from Cupra Kiro. We'll start with the champ. 12 days since you clinched the championship in Berlin. What have those last 12 days look like for you?
Quite busy. Yeah, lots of events and trying to celebrate a little bit the championship, spending time with family. Also trying to prepare for this race, which is important for the team. So, yeah, I wouldn't say there's been too many celebrations yet, but I guess they're to come after this weekend.
We saw Oasis was one of the ways you celebrated. We got a favourite song by Noel and Liam. There's only one answer. Bear in mind you're at Formula E. She's electric.
Honestly, they were all great, but cigarettes and alcohol was probably my favourite.
Yeah. Are they as good as people say they are?
Yeah, honestly, it was amazing. I was expecting maybe to be not quite as good as what they were back in the day, but for me, it was every bit as good, and it was mega.
There's probably some comeback reference between you and them, and we can go down, but let's not. How different is it going to be then this weekend? Knowing that pressure's off for you personally in your championship, that's done and dusted, but obviously fighting for two different championships for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit different. I definitely feel a bit lighter and a bit less pressure than at the last four races. The way I see it really is I'm going to come to probably one of the first races in my career where I can kind of relax, enjoy it. In the team's championship, I feel like really we've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, you know, we're a little bit away from Porsche in the team's championship, but I still think it's reachable, so we'll do our best. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But, yeah, I'm seeing it as a bit of a challenge and, yeah, looking forward to the weekend. Just looking forward to driving freely and hopefully I can do a good job.
I'd imagine qualifying is going to be quite important here in London. What kind of conversations have you and Norman had about where you need to be come the start of that first race?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we think about different permutations when we're in the sim. You can only really plan on Saturday after qualifying for the race. I think for qualifying especially, we'll try and get the car in a good place throughout FP1 and FP2, and then it's down to each individual to extract the most from the car, and hopefully we can both do that in both sessions on Saturday and Sunday. And then we'll see what's available on strategy. But I think, yeah, as you said, the priority is to try and get two cars at the front in both races, because overtaking can be difficult here, not impossible. I think I won from 9th with a similar energy target last year, so I don't think it's impossible. And with the new attack mode, probably even easier to move forward. But yeah, we'll see on the weekend. But at first, we just have to try and get the car towards the front.
New livery on the car this weekend. Are you a fan of the blue?
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to put you in a tricky spot there. And obviously, you know, this track at London is not coming to an end immediately, but you know, it's been a track that's thrown up some epic racing before, and next year will probably be the last year that we race here at Excel. Are you a fan of the indoor-outdoor dynamic? And probably pleased to say it's maybe not raining, because that can cause a bit of chaos.
Yeah, at least the weather's good. I think the last 5 events we've had torrential rain on at least one of the days. So Sunday looks like it could be around, but not too much. Honestly, I really like the track from a single lap perspective, getting close to the walls, having different tarmacs in and out. I think it's a challenge for the drivers to get the most out of the car, so I really like the track. From a racing perspective, it can be a little bit more difficult to pass, but hopefully with the pit boost and the attack mode being more powerful this year, it can make the races slightly more interesting. But for me, over one lap, it's one of the best tracks this season. Okay,
well, we look forward to it. Best of luck. Taylor, an outstanding year for you so far. Obviously, your rookie season, multiple podiums, pole positions, a fastest lap, records broken as the youngest driver to do certain things. There's only one thing missing. Is it going to happen this weekend, that race win?
Yeah, I'm
not
well
to add
aware
pressure.
Of that. I mean, to do that at home would be amazing. Of course, I'll try to do my best. I'm fighting for second in the Drivers' Championship as well, so it's not that I want to get the win just to win. Of course, I need to get the points as well. So it's definitely aim and the target, but if it's actually possible, we'll see after qualifying. Of course, you mentioned that it's quite difficult to overtake here in the races, so we'll do our best. And like Ollie said, we'll see what's available after quali in terms of strategy.
Now, you started your career in Formula E by standing in for Sam Bird last season. You've then become his teammate this season. As that partnership comes to an end this weekend, how has Sam personally helped you both on and off the track?
Yeah, I mean, he's been the best teammate I've had so far in my career by a mile. When he took me in as his teammate at the start of this year, he was super helpful, of course, one of the most experienced drivers in Formula E. I thank him for so much and what he's helped me for, not just on the track, but off the track as well. With media was actually one of the things that I struggled with the most. And him just explaining how he deals with it and how he tries to put himself out in front of the camera was one of the biggest helps to me. So I have a lot of thanks to say to him, which I can't get out all right now. But yeah, he's been a great teammate to me this year.
And given that, you need points and you can secure second place in the championship, if Sam's in a position where he's ahead of you, you need that place, the team aren't going to be affected by the results, do you think you'd even need to ask Sam to maybe let you through?
I don't think I would need to ask him, but if we were first and second, I would definitely not want to take a win away from him, especially if this is to be his last weekend in Formula E, then I would never want to do that. If he's in the lead, of course, he deserves to win the race. If we were in P7 and P8 and it meant the difference, I think I wouldn't even need to ask twice. I think he would do it. And of course, it wouldn't change the team's championship either. So I don't think there'd be any issues there. But of course, I want Sam to do the best that he can as well this weekend for himself.
Of course, obviously, not just for Sam, but a very emotional weekend for everyone involved in the team, with McLaren leaving the championship after this weekend. You must want to really go out on a high for everyone involved in the team for the last few years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the team deserve a good weekend, a good send-off. We're fighting for the manufacturer championship with Nissan, the team's championship third position, myself in the drivers' championship. So there's lots of reasons why we need to go out on a high, but I think the biggest one's definitely to give the team a good send-off as they deserve after the last few years they've had in the championship. And yeah, I mean, the team's amazing. Everyone's such a great personality in the team, and I think they deserve a good result as the last weekend.
Okay, best of luck this weekend. Dan, come to you. First question. What's the horse all about? We've all seen it.
It's a Cupra thing.
Oh,
I
yeah?
wasn't really aware much until this weekend, and someone told me before I got here that I'd have to be riding a horse around the track.
You ridden a horse before?
I have ridden a horse. I'm not a fan, to be honest. 1 horsepower, mate. It's pathetic.
What's the horse's name? Levi?
Levi. The horse was actually lovely. He's a very beautiful
Professional
animal.
horse, I heard.
Yeah.
Just stood there for 2 hours, didn't
He just chills, yeah. It's quite good. There's no mess on the track. It's good. No mess.
Excellent stuff.
Not that I was aware of, anyway, yeah.
Obviously, a lot has changed for the team since we were here last season. How does it feel to go into a home race, probably definitely for the first time in Formula E, with a chance to actually win the race with a car that can do that for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice feeling. I think on paper this has been one of my stronger tracks. I mean, not anyone really remembers because obviously I've been in a terrible car apart from this weekend. So, yeah, it's on paper I think our car's very good at the twisty street tracks. So I've always been looking forward to this one for a while, and I think this is one of my stronger tracks as well. So yeah, it's obviously everyone asks the question, what's it like to do it at home and all that, but we all approach each race the same. But obviously it'd be very special if you have a good result and you've got friends, family, and all the good British people around. So yeah.
I think the best highlight that we've got from you racing here is you drifting into the pits. I think it was last year.
Yeah, well, that's... I'll probably do it. Sunday I might do like a drift lap of honour on because I need the tyres. Need to keep the tyres really.
Yeah.
But I mean, last year it didn't matter because we were going to be last anyway. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just
look at
do a bit of drifting.
And this highlights the maturity.
I actually care now, believe it or not.
Yeah, we've seen the maturity over the last 12 months. If we were to erase that highlight and maybe put a new highlight in, what kind of highlight would you want from this weekend?
I think obviously the Jakarta win was very special. There was some fortune involved in that, like there are a lot in Formula E races. I think to have a win fully on merit, where let's say the strategy's a bit, we don't know what to do. I make a call for attack mode, sort of by myself, and overtake well, defend well, and have a race that's fully on merit, which is quite tough to do in Formula E because they're so unpredictable. But yeah, qualify top 3, I think. And try and get another win would be marvellous.
We've obviously got an eye on next season already. Given the progress that we've seen this year, which has been massive for the team, what do you think's achievable with a sort of proper crack at the next season, knowing that you've achieved some big things this year and things are looking pretty good? Well,
yeah, I mean, again, after Jakarta, I was actually quite frustrated because I saw where I was in the teams in the drivers' championship, and it was in the top 5 and. I just thought, what if we'd scored a few more points and hit the ground running at the beginning of the year? So it was a tough old chore for us to do that, with only 6 weeks to prepare before the season. But yeah, I mean, I think going into next year, if we can hit the ground running a bit, yeah, I think should be more positive. I mean, back to Miami earlier in the year, I was quite unlucky with the red flag, and there's been a bit of bad luck, and but look, realistically, I don't think we're the strongest team even now, but like I think we're still going to improve. I think we're getting to the top of the curve. It's going to start to tail off a little bit. But yeah, I've really enjoyed working with the team. Amazing, still quite a small team, incredible group of people, to be honest, some very talented people in there. And, we've come from, being struggling, well, for many years, and now in a good car, and they've really, really done quite well this year. So, yeah, it's good.
I know we've got team investor Idris Elba here this weekend, and you're very keen to work with him away from motorsport. You want to make some music with him.
Yeah.
It's quite well known.
Oh, pretty cool.
Have you had time to think about what your DJ name would be alongside Idris?
You asked me this yesterday.
Because
No,
he's
I
DJ
haven't.
Driss. You've got you've had 24 hours
I'll
done.
think of something. You can't put me on the spot like that. It needs thought.
Okay, fine. We've got time for a couple of questions. If you'd like to ask a question to any of our drivers, please raise your hand.
Hi, LeftStockmanMotorsportMagazine.com. Question to Ollie. I'm sure you have seen the reports that Norman has been told, apparently, that he will stay on with the team next year. Obviously, there was quite a big points difference this year. We all know that doesn't always tell the full story. So how would you feel about another season next to Norman?
I haven't seen any official confirmation, but just to point out on Norman's season, honestly, I think he's been quite unlucky at times. He's pushed me in various free practices and qualifying where he's actually been close, particularly like Tokyo, tracks like that. So I don't think his point score really reflects his true championship position. I'm sure if you asked him, there'd be areas which he can improve throughout the season. But yeah, I think if you reference the points difference between us, I think I've been fortunate in some times and he's been unfortunate. So I think the gap itself doesn't properly show the full season. But yeah, I mean, good luck to him, and he's been a pleasure having a teammate, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Thank you very much. Time for one more quick one if anyone's got a question. Okay, at the front.
Dan Lloyd, Race Car Engineering. Question for all three of you. Have any of you done any early sim work on the Gen 4 car yet, or is that still? Okay.
Not yet.
Well, off the back of that, obviously regulations have been out for a little bit. From what you've seen and heard, what excites you about the next generation of Formula E cars now that we know a few more details about them?
It's going to be a beast, I think. The simulation and the speed trace numbers I've seen, the car's going to be a proper car. So I think the pace will be arguably quicker than F2. And yeah, when you look at even the G long traces of the car and how it sustains it down the straight, they're going to be extremely fast. Of course, I think Formula E and the FIA need to think about which tracks we go to and how we manage the power on certain tracks maybe, but I think, yeah, it's going to be a proper racing car, and I think from a Formula E's perspective, it will put us on a map in terms of proper cars.
Anything to add?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I think I'm not going to say too much about the Gen 3 car, but I'm not the biggest fan. And seeing some of the mock-ups and the car, which I wasn't supposed to see from someone I can't say, but it does look a lot better. So I think, Formula E has arguably always been in a funny time, and I don't think Gen 3 has been particularly helpful. You need a car that looks good, and I think the Gen 4 is going to be that's for sure. And it's going to be, fast, which is also good. So.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I've not really seen anything about it so far. I know it's going to be a lot quicker, which is obviously exciting, but my focus was on this year and just finishing off strong, and then whatever the future may hold, then I will turn my attention to that.
Perfect. Well, thank you to our drivers. Thank you for your questions.